Okay, go. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Rotten Apples Film Review. I'm John Galligan, your host, and we're going to talk about something really special to me. I just saw a film that really, to me, is the reason why I'm doing these reviews. It's 1917 by Sam Mendes, written and directed, and I gotta say, this is probably the best film I've seen this year. It's definitely the best film I've seen in a long time, and it's a continuous shot. So we're gonna do this review in a continuous shot to pay homage to them. Deakins, the director of photography. I mean, this guy really is a legend. I mean, he's got Shawshank Redemption. He's got Fargo, Coen Brothers movies. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? He's got things that he's tied to that really established him as being one of the greatest cinematographers of all time. And he's 70 years old, so you think he would have peaked long ago, but he just peaked now. He came into his own, and this film really defines his ability as a cinematographer. It's, I don't know, for those of you that don't know, like I said, it's filmed in a continuous shot. It's made to look that way. There are some cuts, a few cuts, but it goes on for maybe 25 minutes without a cut, and they hide the cuts, so it does appear like the whole film is continuous shot. I can only think of one where it goes to black, one scene in the whole 2 hour. I think it's 1 hour and 59 minutes. I can only think of one shot where it goes to black completely, and then it picks up again, and it's another 25 minutes, maybe longer. A film that I think they drew inspiration from was Rope by Alfred Hitchcock. He did continuous shots, but his were only 10 minutes at a time because at that time the film it only lasted 10 minutes, so they would have to put in another reel, and then he would go for another 10 minutes, and that's a classic film. James Stewart in 1938. That I think is the inspiration for Deakins, who I think he's definitely he honed his craft to the degree where he went to, people in the theater, he was putting them in school. I mean, it was pretty impressive to see such a display of cinematic masterpiece, this guy's hands, and Sam Mendes as well with his direction. I mean, the actors, the way they go from scene to scene, the set design, the how it flows with the bunkers. It's a war movie, so it's not a simple set. There's explosions going on. There's planes flying above. There's a lot of things going on. And George McKay, the guy, he also comes into his own. I mean, I don't know him. I don't remember if I've seen him in any films before, but I don't recollect. But I'm pretty sure this is his finest work by far. I mean, this is going to win Best Picture for sure. This is going to win. It won the Golden Globe for Best Picture Drama, I think, and recently this week. And I am 100% certain that this is going to win Best Picture at the Academy Awards for sure. To me, that there was little cameos. Spoiler alert. I mean, this is a spoiler review, so little cameos by Cumberbatch and Colin Firth, and Richard Madden from Game of Thrones. Sorry about that. It's a continuous shot for this, so you could think this is the pressure to have this be a continuous shot, and I'm already messing up. So I mean, you could imagine what they had to do. I mean, back to Deakins and his ability. The guy, like I was saying, Shawshank, Fargo. I mean, this guy is in the industry already known, and he still went and challenged himself as an artist, as a cinematographer, and he took that challenge head on, and I really, I was proud to watch it. I seen it twice in a week, and that's rare for me to do. I'm probably gonna see it a third time, maybe Sunday night. For me, it pushed what I think films should be, and just the direction of the film itself and how it's done. It's so tasteful and so beautiful. And not enough can be said. I'm gonna give my score a little early here, but you already can tell what I'm gonna say. It's definitely a 10. But when I gave it a 10, you can follow me on Must, the app Must. I'm on there where I rank movies, and I gave it a 10. And when I gave it a 10, it's the first time in a long time that I gave a movie a score and felt a score of 10 and felt like it wasn't enough. It definitely raised the bar. It's really groundbreaking. Films I can think of that raised the bar. Jaws, 1975. That's before I was born, so I really didn't get to experience it in theater when it first came out. But I know that was the first summer blockbuster, and for me, that when I look back at that film, I know that changed cinema in the terms of when films are released into cinema and how they're developed and what they want out of them. It's a summer blockbuster. That Jaws defined that. I can go back to Wizard of Oz. To me, that changed cinema because of the set design and the story at that time when that came out. That was, in the 30s. So it came out in a time when cinema wasn't that clean and that perfectly filmed. It was really a time where it was a little bit rougher, and that was a film that changed cinema. Star Wars, another one that changed cinema. That kind of followed suit with Jaws, but it also pushed the envelope in special effects and what can be done and the possibilities of imaginative storytelling. George Lucas's film, and when I think of Matrix, I think of another film that really pushed the envelope, and the Wachowski brothers, now sisters, and I think they pushed the envelope, and this is that moment. This is a film that to me is on that level. It's a film that really should get its deserve. It should get what it deserves is in the Academy and its recognition. Sam Mendes, as I said, he really, really, really did some amazing direction. And Dean Charles Chapman, his character, his acting. There's some scenes in there where I'm left wondering how they kept the camera rolling, how Deakins, holding the camera, watching this happen. I mean, there's a scene. There's a big spoiler here, but I have to say it. It's a death scene, and the way the death scene is acted out. I say spoiler. 1917 is World War One. So I mean, this story is definitely something you probably have never heard of. I know Sam Mendes heard it. I think one of his relatives, maybe his grandfather, is the one that told him the story. I don't really know exactly, but I know it was Mendes is the name of the person who told the story. At the end, they tell that, and yeah, I'm saying spoiler, but we all know how that war ended. And this is depicting the British versus the Germans, and their battle, the battlefield, and the death scene where Chapman is, I mean, the camera is on this dude, and it's really, it's amazing. I can't even, I mean, just like normally they'll cut away. Normally, like there'll be a death, they'll show the face, and just when it's time where it's uncomfortable for the actor, where he's gonna blink, where he's gonna breathe, where they'll cut, But they didn't do that. Instead of cutting, and now this is really ambitious because it's within this, like, I don't know how long this take was. This could have been 20 minutes, but it's within that take. They still pushed forward, and McKay picks him up. Blake is his character's name. Is picked up, and when he picks him up and he's dragging him, Blake is dead, but the camera's still on him. And then McKay puts him down, and the camera's just still on him while they're there and they're acting, and the acting is flowing in such a beautiful way. It's really poignant. It's really something that it's what cinema is about. It's expressing the human emotions there. It's giving you everything. I mean, death. That's really what we all fear, and it's staying on him. It's a moment where the soldier is losing his friend. They bonded. I mean, not not even that long ago in the story, Blake saved McKay's character. There was like an explosion, and he saved him, and that too was really something because the dust went in his eye, and then the way they filmed that whole sequence, I mean, a continuous shot. I'm floored by it. I really was. I couldn't move my eyes, or I was so fixated on what was going on on the screen that I couldn't even pull my eyes off there for 1 second. I just had to stay focused. And for me, that's why we go to the movies. That's why we go there. It's to experience something like 1917. And I hope you guys go there. I hope you guys watch this film. I know I thoroughly enjoyed it, as you can tell. I mean, this is probably the most praise I'm going to give a film besides Raiders of the Lost Ark, which I think is the greatest, I don't know if I touched the mic, but the greatest action film of all time, action adventure film. That is definitely, let's not get off subject, but that is definitely a 10. Um, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And yeah, I mean, when it's funny because I'm thinking about 1917 and I'm comparing it to films that like I grew up watching, Empire Strikes Back, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., films that like I I give tens, and I'm like, wow, this film is really up there. It's rare for me to watch a film lately and feel this way about it. It's really something, and I really highly recommend it, and I'm pretty much going to guarantee it's going to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. If it doesn't, I think it'll be the biggest joke in the history of the Academy. I can't think. I mean, when I think of films this year, and I've seen all of the ones that are nominated, but Lighthouse is a fantastic film. Parasite is a good film. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a great film. These films to me are Joker. Um, these films to me are they're very they're very good films, and they normally would be in contention. But I think where they are, 1917 is, it's like it's above and beyond. It's head and shoulders above the rest. To me, there is no competition, and I really do love these other films that I named. I thought Lighthouse was going to win. I thought Willem Dafoe's performance was fantastic. So now looking back at it, this film really it shocked me because I couldn't believe I was watching such a fantastic film, and I hope you guys have the experience and the same feelings about it as I did when you watch it. So leave a comment below, like, subscribe, and let me know what you want me to review, and I'm pretty sure I'll give it my best, like I'm doing here. This is a continuous shot, so I'm trying to keep it going. There's no editing, so yeah. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Once again, this is Rotten Apples Film Review, and I'm your host, John Galligan, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.